Now on NBC Palm Springs at 5, service disruption. 911 lines go down across the Coachella Valley this morning, leaving local police departments frustrated. We'll hear from them coming up.
Also tonight, days after a Hemet man is arrested for impersonating a police officer, we're going to learn how one local agency is informing the public about the attire worn by its public servants.
And we're tracking a cooling trend into the weekend. We'll more on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 5 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
I'm Mark Messer. Imagine needing emergency help and your 911 call doesn't go through. That's exactly what happened early this morning across the Coachella Valley.
Several police departments were left in the dark for hours, not knowing their emergency lines were down. NBC Palm Springs' Mary Strong explains what went wrong and why it's becoming a growing concern.
It was 2 in the morning when 911 lines across the valley quietly went offline. The problem? Dispatchers didn't realize it until 2 hours later. And this isn't the first time it's happened. Now local departments are demanding answers from the phone company behind the outage.
911, what is your emergency?
911 lines were down this morning across the Coachella Valley. And for 2 full hours, dispatch centers didn't know it. The outage started around 2 a.m., but it wasn't until 4 a.m. that local agencies realized something was wrong.
I got a call at 4 in the morning. The girls in dispatch were letting me know that our 911 system was down. They tested all the lines just to make sure it wasn't a carrier issue, and they did. They realized it was a Frontier issue. They called the surrounding agencies to make sure that we weren't the only ones that were down. So Cathedral City, Palm Springs, they were also down.
In past outages, copper wire vandalism was to blame, and that's been frustrating for police agencies.
And we talked to Frontier, but they say, well, if we have copper wiring theft, right, how do we stop that? How do we prevent that? Well, don't set the copper wiring on top so that, or, you know, on top of the ground, maybe underground. Try different measures to protect these very important wires.
But this time, it wasn't vandalism. It was a planned maintenance outage by Frontier, and no one was notified.
We were told Frontier had a planned routine maintenance and in the Santa Monica area, and at some point it caused the 911 system to go down, and we also were not notified that they were going to have the planned routine maintenance. They normally do contact us, but we don't know what happened.
It's the 4th or 5th time this year 911 service has gone down in the area. Thankfully, 911 calls are automatically rerouted to the California Highway Patrol when the lines go down. But that doesn't mean there's no impact.
It's been occurring quite frequently lately, so we're not too happy about that. You know, it's a service disruption. Obviously, the calls get rerouted to CHP, but our residents don't know that, right? So there's a delay in service.
Back in January, Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills voiced his frustration with Frontier, even saying the city attorney was looking into possible legal action. Well, tonight on the Rogan Report at 6:30, Fred Rogan will speak with the Palm Springs Police Department, and we'll have a follow-up on the story for you tomorrow. I'm Mary Strong for NBC Palm Springs. Back to you.
All right, our thanks to Mary for that tonight. All right, most schools start back up next month. So to help families deal with the cost of supplies, Cathedral City Police held a giveaway this afternoon, complete with backpacks, snacks, and water slides. Digital reporter Thalia Hayden was there and has more tonight.
It's a backpack bonanza here in Cathedral City. Parents and students alike say they're getting the backpack they've always wanted. Looks like you chose blue, huh?
Yeah, my favorite color is blue. Gray, because it's going to match my clothes, and I like to match with my brothers.
We have about 500 backpacks and about 400 school supply kits, which is colored pencils, folders, and some erasers.
I'm excited. They have a bunch of rides. They're giving away free backpacks. And, there's a lot of fun stuff to do.
Did you do the slide already? Oh, my goodness. Was it fun?
Yeah,
all right. Cold?
I think it's really great. I haven't lived in Cathedral City that long, but I love it. It's really great.
Backpacks and school supplies was a big need. A lot of the parents asked for it throughout the year, and we were able to reach out to some of our donors, and we were able to meet that need.
It gets the kids excited to go to school. and like they can see their friends right now before they start school.
And it's also nice to get some free backpacks. Those school supplies get expensive, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
We want them to know that we're here to help their kids out. We're here to give back to our community, and we love our community, so we're here for them.
I'm Thalia Hayden in Cathedral City. Back to you.
All right, thanks to Thalia for that. Let's take a live look outside from our Agua Caliente casino camera. It looks like a great turnout there in Cathedral City this afternoon. And whoever decided, yeah, you know what, backpack giveaway and giant water slides for the kids was genius. That was a big hit.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I feel like it's funny because you don't want to go back to school as a kid. You know, you love the summer. But shopping for school supplies is so fun. I love that kid was like, this backpack matches my outfit.
I know.
Like, love that. So very exciting event. Love that they put that on today for all those kiddos across the Coachella Valley. And not a bad day to do it either. You saw that, Cam. Beautiful skies today, beautiful conditions for the most part. We are just around triple digits this hour in downtown Palm Springs. Those winds a little bit gusty this evening. That's going to be something that we're tracking for the next couple of days. So afternoon, evening hours, we have this low pressure system center that is inching its way closer to Southern California. So right now, still off the coast for our Thursday, right on the coast as we get into our Friday, moving inland on Saturday. So as it does, those winds will start to pick up. So we're forecasting those winds will actually peak for our Friday for the San Antonio Pass. We'll see gusts that could get up to just around 50 miles per hour. So keep that in mind with your Friday commutes, even this evening, because those winds are picking up a little bit as we get into the 5 o'clock hour here. So 22 mile per hour wind gusts for Palm Springs. Heading into Friday, as I mentioned, winds will be gusty. That low pressure system center will also still be to the north of us, but giving us gusty winds, but also ushering in some cooler conditions. So we're actually forecasting a cooling trend into the weekend. So we're even getting cooler, and it'll be quite a change as we get into early next week, because then we have a warming trend taking us back to 110 degrees. So a little bit of a roller coaster ride as far as temperatures go this week. But we'll take the below average while we have it. Here's a good comfort air 3-day forecast. So 104 for Friday, 101 on Saturday. Temperatures start to ramp back up as we get into the second half of our weekend. We'll break down more you can expect for the weekend and next week in that full forecast coming up.
Chloe, thank you. More local news tonight. After a convicted felon impersonated a police officer in Hemet on Monday, the Indio Police Department has put out a social media video showing what the uniforms officers are wearing and the vehicles they're driving. Tonight, our Brett Rosen joins us live. He's in studio with more on what law enforcement officials are saying are telltale signs someone is impersonating an officer. Brett?
Olivia, right behind me is the man who identified himself as Marshall Goodnight, who was arrested Monday afternoon by Hemet police on multiple charges, including impersonating an officer. And after speaking to law enforcement officials and locals about the dangers of someone impersonating law enforcement, it leaves behind a million-dollar question. Could you tell if someone was impersonating an officer? Just days after the Hemet arrest of a convicted convict impersonating an officer, the Indio Police Department put out on social media a video showing locals what each section of the department wears. Sergeant Abraham Plata from Indio PD says it can be easy to copy an officer's uniform. However, there are still ways in which the uniform cannot be replicated.
Yes, they can be replicated. However, we do have our designated uniform companies who embroider our patches, who we only possess. Most officers will carry a police badge like this also, and it, says a department on there, and most of them have their ID number underneath.
Sergeant Plata says anyone can purchase uniforms, patches, or body cams. Many locals hearing how easy it can be to impersonate an officer say fear is the #1 thing that comes to mind.
Actually, it's quite scary to me, because it did look like a police car. It did look like a real uniform. It did look like a real badge. All of those things are what you look for.
I mean, the worry is pretty obvious. I mean, anyone can do it, like you said. I mean, it's literally anyone, a convicted felon. You're just at the mercy of whoever's there to pull you over at the time, right?
Yeah, I think there's always a concern if it's that easy to just masquerade as a officer.
In the social media posts, Indio PD showcased their different vehicles as well. Sergeant Plata says even vehicles can be replicated to look like real law enforcement. However, he says the department knows their personnel best, and if they see something suspicious, they will investigate it.
I'm pretty sure somebody can get a hold of these parts and create their own car, but we know our city, we know our staff. If we see something that doesn't really look right, and it more than likely not one of our officers, and we're going to be able to tell if that's not a real police officer in that unit. We're going to look into it.
Now the badge embroidering, the specific patches on the side of the arm, having the correct lights on the vehicle, all ways you can tell if it's really law enforcement. However, as you heard from Sergeant Plata, it can still be difficult to see a difference. So if you have a gut feeling that someone's impersonating an officer, as Sergeant Plata told me, be a good neighbor and report your suspicion. Live in studio, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Brett, thank you for that. Tonight, authorities are asking for your help to find a missing woman. Jerry Chamberlain, last seen around 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon in La Quinta. She's 67 years old, stands at 5'5", weighs 110 pounds, has gray hair, and was last seen wearing a blue sundress. Call 911 if you see her.
A major milestone for the brand new Desert Wildlife Center in Indio today. They've admitted their first patients. A Eurasian collared dove with head trauma arrived on opening day, and after staff provided fluids, pain meds, and a nutrient-rich diet, they tell us this bird is already showing signs of improvement. A house sparrow nestling was also admitted, and the Desert Wildlife Center says they're now accepting injured wild birds for rehabilitation. If you find a bird that's in need, you can call their helpline to make an appointment. They're currently open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and they're accepting patients by appointment only. They're looking to expand to mammal and reptile care as well in the near future.
And also today, we wanted to take the time to thank you, the community. We brought you the story about Animal Samaritans and their Cade El Moro Dog and Cat Care Fund. Helps cover medical costs for pets like April, the animal you see right there on your screen inside of that crate. Well, that fund depleted recently, and we shared their need for help from the community, and boy, did you deliver. Valerie Katz with Animal Samaritans said that between Wednesday and this morning, the fund raised almost $9,000. She wanted us to spread the word and thank you for the continued support and let the community know that April, that dog right there who was hit by a car, I believe she broke 2 of her legs, will be adopted once she recovers.
Coming up next year on NBC Palm Springs, we have the latest updates on the Epstein files as highly anticipated meetings with Ghislaine Maxwell take place.
Also, we're going to learn more about 2 Coachella Valley sports talk show hosts celebrating 10 years on the air. We'll be right back.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
There's one person who could explain what's in the infamous Epstein files, and that's Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in federal prison for helping Jeffrey Epstein run his sex trafficking ring.
As rumors and accusations swirl about whose names might be in those files and their connection to Epstein, the Justice Department is going straight to the source. Laura Aguirre tonight has more.
A lawyer for convicted Jeffrey Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell arrived at the federal courthouse in Tallahassee, Florida this morning. Sources tell CNN he and Maxwell are meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the current second in command at the Justice Department, and former criminal defense attorney for President Donald Trump.
This is extremely unusual. You never have the number 2 person in the Department of Justice go and interview anybody.
Maxwell is serving a 20-year federal sentence for carrying out a years-long scheme with Epstein to groom and sexually abuse underage girls. In May, Attorney General Pam Bondi briefed Trump that his name was in the so-called Epstein files. Sources familiar with the conversation tell CNN. It's a claim Trump denies. Trump, who was once known to be good friends with Epstein, has never been charged with any wrongdoing related to Epstein's activities. Epstein died in jail awaiting trial in 2019. His death ruled a suicide, leaving Maxwell likely the only person who knows the scope of his crimes.
There's no way you could ever believe Maxwell. She knows that the only way she'll ever see the light of day and get out of that 20-year sentence is to get a pardon.
As for any possible deal between Maxwell and the DOJ,
they have to be convinced that she has come fully clean on everybody and everything. She's shown no indication of any willingness to do that at any point.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
We have a live look outside for you. Our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera on this Thursday evening. We are inching closer to the weekend, and Chloe Carlson's tracking your 7-day forecast right after the break.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
And happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 cam in Rancho Mirage. Mostly clear blue skies today. A few of those wispy high clouds out that we were talking about for our Thursday out. For Rancho Mirage, more breezy conditions for that area. A little bit closer to the 10. We'll call it gusty over there as we forecast. So that's going to be the case for the next couple of days. As I mentioned, as that system moves closer. More on that in a second. 106 for the high today. So we are just slightly below average, right around seasonal for this time of year. 121, a record-breaking number from 2018. So we were nowhere near that. Thank goodness. 89 right now up in Yucca Valley, 96 in Desert Hot Springs, 101 on the southeast end for our neighbors there in Indio. Overnight tonight, the mid-70s here for the desert floor, 42 up in Big Bear, 60s in Joshua Tree. Future wind potential. Yeah, unfortunately, this is kind of the story for us right now. We're talking about those winds picking up as that system inches closer as to the northwest now, starting to move inland as we get into our Friday and Saturday. So you can see, yeah, near the Whitewater area, sustained winds will be the 30s. 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts for our Friday. So that's the San Antonio Pass, the 10 traveling west there, the 62 up to the high desert. So just keep that in mind with your commutes, especially those with high profile vehicles. I would make sure you're taking your time, especially when those winds start to pick up. As we get into Saturday, again, it's a little bit gusty as that system moves inland, moves through. Sunday, we'll call it more breezy for that region. Surface moisture, yeah, going to continue to stay pretty dry here. It'll pick up a little bit on Saturday as that system moves through. Yeah, moving through just to the north of us for our Saturday. Tuesday, ridge of high pressure will be building and strengthening next week. So there's a good chance Tuesday and Wednesday will be above 110 degrees for us. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. So cooling trend into the weekend. Temperatures start to warm back up as we get into our Sunday. Temperatures looking to peak next week on Wednesday at 110.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, when you do what you love, they say you don't work a single day of your life. And that's the case for two Coachella Valley sports talk show hosts celebrating 10 years. Our Tim O'Brien has the story.
It's Pure Sports with Jeff Bloom on the Valley Sports Leader. I am the Dome along with Austin. Happy Wednesday to all of you.
Jeff Bloom, known as the Dome around the Valley, is the host of Pure Sports on 102.7 The Fanatic. 10 years of giving us thoughts and opinions has never felt like a job. It's been more of a dream come true.
I always wanted to be in sports talk radio. Growing up as a kid, my family knew it. I've been an avid sports fan my whole life, and I got to the Coachella Valley, and I got to live out my dream.
For his co-host and producer, Austin Derryberry, getting paid to do something he was already doing on his free time is special.
Yeah, it's how many people get to say, like, they get to do their favorite thing, which is talk about sports or just be involved in sports and get paid for it. I love it, and I'm just very thankful for it.
It's a great gig with a ton of benefits, but it's not as easy as just showing up 5 minutes before the show and throwing on the headphones. Preparation is key.
You know, my days putting the show together, getting out, finding more sponsors all the time. We're so fortunate to have the sponsors that we do. But as you know, it's not easy putting a show together every day. It takes time. People think you just show up and you do a 3-hour sports talk show, but a lot of reading, a lot of research, and being prepared for maybe something you don't think is going to come up on a show, especially during the NFL. I mean, we recap every game, and whether I care or not about that game, we're going to talk about it.
While the sponsors keep the lights on, it's hard to make a successful show without your faithful listeners.
You know, just interacting with all of the listeners. We are so fortunate to have a text line every day that listeners text in. They all have nicknames, whether it's Spaghetti Jeff or Raider Royce or Mike the Saints fan, Hella Saucy. All of these guys just chime in every day and just do a great job contributing to the show. And it's really fun to interact with them each day.
10 years is quite the accomplishment in anything you do. Where will the show go over the next 10 years?
10 years, man. I hope we're still doing it. I hope we're still doing it. Can I say syndication? That would be the dream.
For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Tim O'Brien.
Turning to some entertainment news this evening, we have updates on 2 killer streaming series. Also a film about a movement that's been transforming this country for 60 years. We turn to David Daniel tonight for that.
I already know where the bodies are buried.
Season 2 of Wednesday has yet to debut, but Netflix has already renewed the series for Season 3. Jenna Ortega returns as Wednesday Addams when the first part of Season 2 premieres August 6th. The second half of Season 2 begins on September 3rd.
For Only Murders in the Building, I'm Charles Hay.
What the hell?
We have a premiere date for Only Murders in the Building Season 5. Hulu sent out this first look photo and announced the Emmy-winning series will return on September 9th with 3 episodes, followed by new episodes weekly.
It's one of America's most unlikely movements. The fight to convert abandoned railroads to trails.
There's no way of getting something as terrific as a trail without putting some work into it.
Over the last 60 years, a grassroots movement has built more than 26,000 miles of public paths on former railroad corridors. The documentary From Rails to Trails, narrated by Edward Norton, explores what it's taken to transform disused railways into walking, biking, and recreation havens. The film debuts October 15th on public television stations and PBS.org. Hitting the trail in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And some surprising news from the entertainment world tonight. Wrestling superstar Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. Hogan's manager saying he died from cardiac arrest. He became a pro wrestler in the 80s, becoming perhaps the biggest WWE star. He was known all around the world. Hogan's larger-than-life personality making him a household name and steering his career into mainstream success in TV and movies. Again, Hulk Hogan dead at the age of 71.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs News. Even astronauts tune in for their news fix. When it comes to top stories,
All right, finally tonight, if you are a chocolate lover, it's going to cost you more money to satisfy that sweet tooth. That's because chocolate prices are set to soar. Hershey announcing that it's raising its retail prices this fall. The reason for that is the high price of cocoa. So some items you're going to see a price hike in the low double-digit percentages, while others will have a smaller pack size. We'll see you tonight at 6.
When I'm gonna say when people say you look much shorter in person. Okay, so Lane, I want to show you this slide real quick.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it first so you can see? Have you
Yeah,
watched me
I have watched you
So you
before.
got it.
I have an idea.
Okay, so here, I'm just going to show you this slide real quick. This is
Okay.
This is what's currently happening. So it currently is, just so you know, this is a temperature reading at the airport.
Okay.
Winds from the northwest. I don't ever read the bar because I don't really know what that means. This is the wind gusts.
Okay.
That's you shrinking. That's you shrinking. These are all the wind gusts, and those are the numbers right there.
Right.
When you see the arrow going this way, or like wherever this is pointing, that's the direction the winds are going.
Right.
So they're going east, but they're coming from the west. So you would
Right.
say winds from the west, onshore flow. If winds are coming from the northeast, it's offshore flow. Okay. This is
Onshore
a
flow.
surface map.
Okay.
Surface map. And this is great because you're telling people why we're seeing what we're seeing. So why are we getting cooler conditions and why are we getting gusty winds? Well, that's because of this low pressure system right here, this storm. It's mostly moving through Central California. The center will stay to the north of us, but that's ushering cooler conditions from the north and also giving us those gusty winds. So that's the surface map. And then your comfort air 3-day forecast. And you can say whatever you want here. Sunny skies. I should sometimes go into more detail, but I'm always running out of time. 104 for our Friday. You can see we are cooling into the weekend. We'll start to ramp up those temperatures in the second half of the weekend into early next week. So it's whatever feels like Lane. And you wanted to make it a story as best as you can.
Right.
That's what I try to do. I don't know if I do it successfully, but it's like a story.
Okay.
Like the weather, instead of being like, this slide is this. This is this.
Right. Okay.
So, okay, you want to try it? Oh,
Yeah.
you need this. So that clicks to the next slide. Next slide. So I'll go back if that's confusing.
So how long do you try to stay on each slide? You have a minute 30, so.
Minute 30, yeah, so I'll give you cues. Wait, actually, Marvin, can you give me cues and I'll give you a cue with these paper things? Okay, so.
Well, because I'm not worried about going overtime. I'm worried about going under time. You're right.
And honestly, so if I have a lot of time, that's when you start talking about your life a little bit.
Okay.
You know what, I was going for a walk with my girls today, and are you done with the training things? Did you, Dave? Yeah. Okay, that's fun. So I'll be like, oh my gosh, beautiful day today. Sometimes they make me run long. That's what people like with the weather. I think you can show your personality too.
Right.
So if you feel like you try and space it out, that's just repetition. But I had sometimes where I'm 30 seconds on the 3-day, and I'm like, okay. So I'll start talking and be like, oh my gosh, tomorrow, it's gonna be, so.
Okay.
Let's try and see how you do. So 4 slides, minute 30, and then just try and personalize it. We're throw you into the fire. So.
Right. All right. Okay.
Let's try it. But it's reps. It'll be great. All right, Marvin, give me a countdown, and when you give me cues, I'm gonna give him cues. And we'll do a minute 30.
And a quick look outside. Not too bad today. 105 with those winds coming in from the northwest. No precipitation, but that's pretty on par for right now. Those wind gusts are coming in from, what do you say? The west, and they are pushing east. What else do you usually say they're coming from? Onshore flow. Onshore flow. Okay. That onshore flow is pushing the winds east. And look down at Palm Springs there. What's that, 32 miles per hour? 32 mile per hour winds coming through Palm Springs there. And looking up to Yucca Valley and 29 Palms, some of those winds are moving north there. What do you usually say when you get here? Surface flow, or what do you say?
Yeah, so I would say, how about, Marvin, let's do a minute 30 again, and I'm gonna have Lane watch me more closely.
Okay.
Because no, it's good if you can.
Yeah, I'm.
No, you're doing great. But that's what it's hard once you start to be like,
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. But okay, Marvin, can you do me for 1:30? Okay. Hey, Mark and Olivia, another beautiful day out there today. Sunny, clear skies. Hopefully you're able to go out there and enjoy it at the pool or maybe going for a stroll. 105 still in downtown Palm Springs at the airport, so temperatures peaking Right now, it'll get a little bit cooler as we get to the evening hours. So if you want to wait for that stroll, much better once that sun goes down. As far as winds go, 17 miles per hour from the northwest. Yeah, a little strong right now. That's what we're tracking for the next couple of days for the afternoon and evening hours. Looking at these wind gusts right now. Yeah, look at Palm Springs, strongest gusts in that area right now. We do expect those to continue to pick up as we get into the late evening hours for the next couple of days. So keep that in mind with your commutes. If you're gonna be traveling those wind-prone areas, North Palm Springs, Genotry, you can expect those winds to be a little bit gusty. So as far as the surface map, that low pressure system sitting to the north of us, bringing a little bit of moisture to the Sierras up there. That's what's ushering in those cooler conditions for the next couple of days, as well as those gusty winds. Here's a good come for your 3-day forecast. So below seasonal for the rest of the work week into the weekend. Temperatures start to ramp up as we enter early next week. We'll break down more and expect in that full forecast coming up. That was right on 30.
Okay.
So try.
Yeah.
I was only showing you that because it's like.
No,
And so go through it right now before we make you do it, because I literally just made you I threw you in there. But I usually would go when I was first starting out too. It's like look at each slide and be like, okay, what do I want to talk about here? And then what's a good segue into the next thing? I'm like, what?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like a lot to look at. So whatever is like simplifying for Lane. So actually, what I'm gonna let you do.
Okay.
I have to post my weather, so play with these slides for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'll come back. It's hard when someone's like watching you. Also, I would find. I'd be like,
Well, I mean, you learn from the best, right?
that's true. But I'd always be like, if someone's just watching me, I'd be like, oh. So I'll let you. Yes. What time is it? Are we okay? Okay. Can we do like 2-3 more minutes?
Oh, it's already, yeah.
Okay. So at 51, I'll come back and we'll run through.
Okay. Yeah. A quick look out. Yeah, a quick look outside. Not too bad today. Nice and sunny if you were to get outside, enjoy that sunshine. Not too bad today. Looking at that 17. Looking at that wind coming from the northwest. We're tracking that. Yeah, another beautiful day outside today. 105, the high. Not too bad for what we're used to. We're tracking those winds, 17 miles an hour from the northwest here. Looking down at the Palm Springs. 32 miles per hour wind, the gustiest on the map. So if you're traveling this weekend, make sure to take into consideration those winds into North Palm Springs. Taking a look at the surface map, we have the low pressure system, which is moving in some of those cooler systems that we're seeing, moving in some of those cooler temperatures that we're seeing throughout the valley right now. Looking right down in Palm Springs. Look at the low pressure system moving in, which is causing some of those cooler temperatures that we're seeing. Yeah, beautiful day outside. Quick weather conditions coming in from the airport. 105 outside, not too bad today for what we're usually expecting this time of year, with heavy winds that we're tracking later into today. You can look into Palm Springs, that low pressure system. What did she say? I think she calls it low pressure system. Those winds real strong in Palm Desert, so if you're traveling, we're expecting high winds throughout the weekend. We're tracking high winds throughout the weekend. So if you're traveling, make sure to take that into consideration. Into North Palm Springs, looking ahead to the surface map, the low pressure system's moving through sort of central California there, kind of pushing those cooler weather, sort of pushing that cooler weather that we've been seeing. Which are going to carry into the weekend. Beautiful day tomorrow. Expecting great weather early in the weekend and cooling and heating back up early into Sunday and the early part of next week. We're tracking those heavy winds. Down in Palm Springs, 32 mile per hour wind gust. We're expecting that throughout the weekend, so if you're traveling, make sure to.
All right, ready?
I don't know if I'm gonna get to a minute 30, but I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be a little better. Okay.
It's okay because like this took me a lot. So I was like listening to you and it is a low pressure system, by the way.
Okay.
So you were right about that. Okay, let me clock you. Because it takes a while because it's weird at first.
Yeah.
Like you, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that. I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And you know what you're talking about. Okay, ready? I'll give you cues.
Okay.
And I'll segue into you. All right, and we're taking a live look at the Aqua Camp outside. Wow, clear blue skies today. Let's send it over to Lane in the Weather Center. Lane, not bad out there today, right?
No, Chloe, not too bad at all. Looking at the weather, 105 outside, not too bad for what we're usually expecting this time of year. But we are tracking those heavy winds, 17 miles per hour from the northwest. Looking at the wind map, can look into Palm Springs, 32 mile per hour winds. Real gusty out there. We're expecting that to continue throughout the weekend. So if you're traveling into North Palm Springs, just make sure to remember that as you are traveling. Palm Desert, Indio, not too bad. 29 Palms, some of those winds are moving a little more north. Looking at the surface map, you can see sort of right up here that low pressure system is moving some of those cooler temperatures down into the deserts, why we're expecting them and why they're here, that low pressure system. What else would you usually say here?
Like also picking up those winds a little bit. So gusty winds and then cooler conditions. That's why we're below average.
Okay. That low pressure system is moving some of those gusty winds down into the desert. That's why we're expecting some of those cooler temperatures. And then, those cooler temperatures are going to continue early into the weekend. 104 Friday, beautiful day on Saturday. 101 is the high, and then on Sunday 106. That weather is going to continue to rise back into early next week. Friday and Saturday, get outside, get active before that weather starts picking back up. Like I said, early next week, but beautiful throughout the weekend.
Nice, 123. That's not bad. And it was cool right there at the end. You could tell you got a little bit more comfortable because you're like, I said it here. And you're like, get outside.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, that was so good. I should say that. So that was good. Like, it's so good to get the reps in. You actually have a great voice for this. This is going to be really good.
I thought that was a little bit. I mean, I was obviously not perfect.
It was way better.
Yeah.
Like it was really. We recorded this, right?
Yes.
We're recording.
Yeah.
So save that, watch it back, and then you'll start to learn like the things you pick out and like how you say it. Because right now it's a lot of content to cover. And me and you sounded the same when I started too. So it's like the more reps you do, but it was perfect at the end. There, you're like, oh, get outside. It's gonna be beautiful on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you kind of have to figure out what like your segues are because you want to sound conversational. So that's why I like paused myself when I said and then because that doesn't sound
right. Yeah. Like, oh. But it was good how you did the winds.
Yeah. That
you segued really well.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But then now I'm realizing too I have a good segue here with the low weather because then I can go back to the winds that's pushing that through. So
see, you got it.
Yeah.
You're already picking that up. I feel like at first I didn't have that because I kind of did. Am I good here? Am I sized up? Thank you, Max. But yeah, because I didn't know, and then I was told like,